all the news from WTCN TV's expanded news gathering facility.
WTCN TV, Channel 11.
This is KARE 11 News at 10.
Tonight in the Extra, the unbelievable things people do as they drive down the highway.
We hit the road during several recent commutes, and did we get an eyeful? KARE 11's Bernie Grace takes a look at the dangers of distracted driving and how it changed the life of one young Twin Cities woman forever.
This motorist who is traveling 60 miles an hour on the freeway dials his cell phone to make a call. Much has been made recently about the dangers of driving and talking on handheld phones, say nothing about dialing. But in just a few mornings of riding Twin Cities freeways, we observed many other things that rival and in some cases clearly surpass the potential danger of using phones and driving. Like taking phone usage to the next step. This motorist talking and apparently referring to a paper on the steering wheel. Having a folder of papers in your lap and apparently doing business as you drive. And there were other motorists we saw apparently conducting business behind the wheel. Now, many of us drink and drive, and while it may only be a pop or coffee, it is a distraction, as is eating, like this truck driver having to unwrap food, apparently removing both hands from the wheel. Doing a variety of things, in addition to driving, experts refer to as multitasking. Something many women do day in and day out as they drive to work is apply makeup. Here this woman is apparently applying mascara. But it's not only women. This man appeared to have been shaving. And this woman reading a magazine and flipping pages as she drove down busy 494. Or an extreme example on busy 35W going into Minneapolis, where we spotted a motorist remove a needle from his arm and put it in his lap, all the while driving with his knees. After stopping the bleeding from his arm, the motorist rolls his shirt sleeve down, but that's not the end of his medical procedures. He then begins looking at what appears to be a device that most likely reads his blood sugar level. Again, all of this happening in rush hour traffic moving 45 to 50 miles an hour.
His hands are on that piece of equipment, and he's driving with his knee, it appears, controlling the steering wheel. And that is not taking driving seriously.
State Patrol Lieutenant Mark Peterson viewed some of these cases with us and says this is just why nearly 30,000 crashes last year in Minnesota were a result of inattentive driving while distracted. And there were 154 deaths linked to such driving.
We can only do so many things when we're driving along, and if we have too many tasks that are going on, we're not going to be able to react to that person that stops quickly in front of me or that person that cuts me off.
Minnesotans for Safe Driving.
This woman was instrumental in pushing tougher drunk driving laws through Minnesota and thinks the time has come to start taking distracted driving more seriously.
Wake people up, just like we did years ago on drinking and driving. It was acceptable at one time. It's no longer acceptable.
Minnesotans for Safe Driving believe distracted driving, like the examples we showed them, should be a misdemeanor offense, warning a ticket, just like speeding or other driving infractions.
This is the worst. I mean, she's enjoying the magazine, not only just glancing at the magazine, but she is looking down, turning the pages. Now that is true concentration, but the concentration is on the magazine and not the driving.
And this recent study from Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, in short, concludes the brain has limits. And while our brain can become more efficient at handling multiple tasks, as we do more behind the wheel, our performance is never as good. Driving and eating, driving and reading maps, or a variety of other tasks while driving, researchers say diminishes our ability to respond quickly, and that split second can change one's life forever.
I'm thinking about the phone call and splat.
Tammy Johnson's life changed forever just a month after graduating from high school back in 1995. The car she was driving veered into oncoming traffic. Tammy just finished a cell phone call and was distracted as she drove into the path of an oncoming truck.
It totally distracted my attention big time, and I wasn't paying attention.
After the crash, Tammy was in a coma for 4.5 months. Then one morning from her hospital bed, Tammy called home.
This little weak voice on the other end said, "Good morning, Mom, I love you."
That'd be pretty tough.
It still is kind of hard to talk about it without being sad, but I was happy, and I thank God for what was happening.
I just really wanna walk on my own.
What's happened over the past 6 years is that everything Tammy took for granted, she's learning to do again, such as walking. Her dad is by her side whenever she's out of her wheelchair.
With a head injury, you know, it's never going to be the same for us or for Tammy.
You think about how prosperous she would have been, because she's a very intelligent girl. And she'll still do good. I hope she saves some lives with all these talks and speeches and stuff she's going to be doing.
Look at me. I was an 18-year-old going off to college. And now look at me.
But Tammy says, don't feel sorry for her. She stays busy and will be grateful if she managed to save just one life by talking about the dangers of distracted driving. And yes, her message is very simple.
It can happen that fast.
So Tammy hopes the next time you're behind the wheel, you'll be thinking about just driving, not all the other distractions we saw. In Independence, Bernie Grace, KARE 11 News.
So what are the 3 most common distractions on the road? A recent insurance survey says talking to passengers tops the list. That's followed by eating and adjusting controls like the radio or heater.